What is going on, you guys? And welcome to the video. I'm gonna turn some lights on. Today is gonna be a pretty good video. There, now you can see me. We are gonna talk about a lot of important things when it comes to your training and also give you the updates on what has been mine and Anthony's hardest training block that personally I've ever had. So the past like 4 or 5 weeks, I think we've been on a new training cycle and it's been just absolutely insane. So I'm gonna give you all the details on what has made it so crazy, and also I'm gonna teach you guys how to properly focus on bringing up weak muscle groups, also how to properly program a little bit. We're gonna talk about also how to just see better results in the gym. So I think you're gonna find this video pretty informative. I think you're gonna learn a lot, and also we have another few exciting things going on in this video. So let's get this day going.
So this is Maddie's current makeup setup. What are you doing?
Don't show the world. It was too dark at my desk.
Right.
I needed light.
So you just have your makeup on the ground, your little mirror by the window. Wow, fabulous. Of course they reveal it. No, people need to see this.
No, they can't know. They must never
They know now.
Now I know what you're thinking, Brady, that's not a 3D energy drink. You're right, we ran out because I drank them all. But this is the next best thing, V8 Energy. If you don't know what these are, highly recommend them. They taste pretty good. They got fruits and vegetables, natural caffeine, and yeah, I like them. Let's chat for a second. So, things are going on regarding Summer Shredding Classic. I feel like that is not the first time that I've said that. Basically, so we know that it's October 10th still, which if you don't know, that's my birthday. So that's pretty cool. Also puts extra pressure on me to actually do well. But yeah, so Anthony and I have lately been discussing when to start our preps. Anthony ended up deciding to start his next week and then started it yesterday instead. And I think that captures our attitude towards prep right now, is just we are both very excited to get on prep and like just be in it. And I talked about this on my Instagram already. So if you don't follow me on my Instagram, you should. I try to be pretty active on my story and everything. And yeah, so I was just talking about how prep is hard. Like, it's not easy to do a super long diet phase with the intent on stepping on stage. I mean, that's like a huge thing. And when you're on prep, you're tracking your food as accurate as possible. You know, Anthony and I, we are the last people to be cheating on our diets and things like that, because we're very committed and pretty disciplined when it comes to things like this. So it's not easy, but we're still so excited for it because it just all of a sudden gives us so much purpose. And not that like we don't have purpose when we're not on prep, but it just gives us such a specific goal. And I think you've heard us say this a million times before, but when you have a specific goal like that, just the quality of your life feels better because you're working for something every single day. Like, you wake up in the morning and you have, you know exactly what your goal is. You have something that you're working towards that's so specific. There's a deadline to it. On October 10th, we're stepping on stage. We're gonna be all spray tanned and everything. We better look our best. And that for us is just like so much fun. Honestly, it's so much fun, and we love a life where you just get to work that hard for something that we really care about. So we're very excited for prep. That being said, I think I'm going to also be starting mine a little bit early. Before, I was thinking maybe doing like a 16-week prep, and then I think I'm probably gonna end up doing like an 18 or 19-week prep instead. That is longer than my prep before, but like I said, I'm just really excited to get on it, and I don't want any regrets with this. I wanna get just, like, we have a goal. I'm just gonna say it. We have the goal. We want to be the leanest guys at the show. So if you're going to that show, like, better bring it, guys, because we're gonna bring it. We want to be the leanest guys at the show. I want to step on the stage in men's physique and classic physique and just be the leanest guy there. I want to be the most shredded guy in those divisions. In order to do something like that, like, that's a huge goal to have. In order to do that, you know, I gotta put in the work. It's not just gonna happen because I want it. You know, I could want to be the leanest guy all I want, but I'm not gonna be the leanest guy unless I actually be the leanest guy. So It starts soon. That being said, I bought my boy shorts too. I'm not gonna show you them yet. I'm gonna wait until I get them, and then hopefully they fit. But they're pretty cool, so yeah, I'll show you that when I actually get them.
But this is our 2-bedroom. It's 1,176. Are we taping? Don't know.
Okay, so the lady said we couldn't film, of course, because big scary YouTube camera. Such a stupid thing. Anyway, it was really nice. I guess you'll see it eventually, but yeah. All right, what's up guys? Back from the gym, and we can get into this talk. So what I want to talk to you guys about is just a few things that are going to really help your programming when it comes to just seeing results in the gym and just optimizing things. And if you don't know already, you know, with Become Nova, our brand, one thing that we really focus on with our clients as well as just training ourselves is just doing things optimal, you know, like just controlling the variables in the best way possible. Because, you know, you can train hard and you can see results, but as soon as you train hard and train smart, that's when you're going to see the best results. And who doesn't want to see the best results? So we're all about just kind of like maximizing the things that we can maximize and controlling all those variables. So yeah, we're just going to learn a lot today about programming, correct programming, especially with bringing up weak muscle groups, how to go about programming that, and a few other things that I think you're going to like. And yeah, okay, so the number one thing I wanted to talk about out of 3 things is how to properly progressively overload. And so when we're talking about progressive overload, you know, there's a basic way to understand it where we're just trying to increase your workload over time. When it comes to building muscle and kind of like bodybuilding style training specifically, it's not as important to increase the weight over time as you would think. And so we want to make sure that we're progressively overloading correctly when it comes to building muscle. Even, you know, goes hand in hand with getting shredded and just looking good. That style of training inside the gym. And so what you want to do is you want to take advantage of the 2 most important training variables that we have, which is intensity and volume. So if you don't know, intensity is actually can be measured. You know, when we're talking about intensity, we're not just talking about going really hard. You know, that's not something you can really measure. So we like to use RIR in order to measure intensity and actually be able to, like, you know, track it. And RIR stands for reps in reserve, basically saying how many reps you have left in the tank before you reach muscular failure and physically cannot do any more reps during that given set. So RIR is a really powerful tool. For an instance, if you were to do a set to an RIR 1, that means that you would perform so many reps in a set before you can literally only do 1 more rep, and then you stop when you have that 1 rep left in the tank, and you would stop. Now, the most anabolic range of RIR is that 0 to 5. You don't always want to do 0 to 1 RIR. Probably most of your training should be like in the 1 to 3 range, but anything less than 5 is going to be pretty anabolic. Now what you want to do is progressively overload that RIR. You don't always want to do 5 RIR, you don't always want to do 0 or 1 RIR. Typically you would start at the beginning of your training cycle and eventually increase the intensity, aka decreasing the RIR, until the very end. So for instance, on my current training block right now, which I've reached the end of, this week I'm pretty much taking every set to like a 0 to 1, maybe 0 to 2 if I get lazy. And that's making my workouts extremely difficult. I mean, it takes a lot of mental willpower and just like, I don't know, it's hard to take every single set to a true RIR of 0 to 1. It's very difficult to do. So it's very, very intense. Now, the second thing that you want to progressively overload correctly would be your volume. So volume, we like to measure just simply by sets per week. We're talking about hard working sets, not just junk volume sets. And what you can do in your training block is increase your volume or sets per muscle group per week over time. So maybe you start off by, for instance, your shoulders. Maybe you're doing 10 sets a week of shoulders. By week 2 or week 3 of your training program, you could be doing 12 or 14 sets per week and slowly increase that way. I would say it's probably more important to start with increasing your intensity, seeing how your body reacts to that, and then go ahead and increase your volume from there as you are actually adapting. The second thing that I want to talk to you guys about is how to know when to do more volume or less volume. Basically, like just talking about recovery and things like that. So you'll know that you need to do more volume or work at a higher intensity if you're recovering very easily from your workouts. So there's a few ways to identify this. For one, maybe you're never really that sore, or your workouts are just kind of too easy, and you'll know this by week 2 or 3 of your program. If it's just like easy and you feel like you can do more, you probably can. Another good thing is if you're not really getting sore or anything like that. Not that muscular soreness leads to muscle growth, but what it does say is like, yeah, you're doing a lot. Another thing is if you're getting stronger week after week after week, and this is normal at the beginning of a training block, but if you keep getting stronger, then you're probably not doing enough volume, and things like that. That's probably a good indicator that you can handle more volume, that you probably should do more volume to be more anabolic. Now, a big issue guys have is doing too much volume. You're doing too much volume if you are unable to perform at a high intensity for many training days in a row. And this happens a lot where guys just load on so much junk volume or volume without purpose, and they just keep doing it. By the end of the week, they've racked up 40 sets of chest, and they'll do it the next week too, but none of it's really that effective of volume because it's just junk volume. So you also know you're doing too much if you're experiencing a lot of what you would experience if you're overreaching for too long. So your joints will start to hurt, or maybe your muscles will start to ache. Right now I'm experiencing my elbow pain, which tells me right away that I'm due for a deload week. Or maybe you're having trouble sleeping, or you just have no mental power or strength to go to the gym. You can't really just focus on going to the gym. You don't even want to go to the gym because you just feel fatigued, and that's a good indicator that you probably are fatigued, which can be good if it's temporary and you can deload and recover from it. But if it's always like that, then you're probably doing way too much volume or way high of an intensity, or both. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is how to properly program for focusing on weak muscle groups. So obviously, we want to grow every muscle group, right? This is a funny common thing that happens in the gym, or in the sport of bodybuilding, where you're like, okay, what's my weakness? And you're like, well, I could definitely use bigger delts. I could probably get some bigger biceps and triceps. I need to bring up my chest, and I could probably, work on my back and my traps too. And I definitely need better abs. And you just go down the line and you realize okay, shoot, I just need everything to grow. And I get that. I'm the same way. I'm sure everyone is, but you can't really focus on every muscle group, because then you're not focusing on any muscle group. That being said, that doesn't mean that every muscle group isn't going to grow, but what we're going to do is identify specific muscle groups that need the most work. So for me, in this specific training block, I was focusing on my triceps, biceps, and my legs. That was my main focus. A little bit of my chest too, I admit. That's probably good. You should probably focus on 1 to 3 muscle groups at a time to really focus on. All you're gonna do is increase the volume in those areas a little bit more aggressively than you do your other body muscle groups. And this is really easy because there's an anabolic range of volume that you can put your entire body through, but those few muscle groups that you're focusing on, you're going to really put at the end of that spectrum where it's maxing out. This for most people is right around 20 hard-working sets per muscle group per week. That's a good place to try to end your mesocycle, and maybe you can handle a little bit more the next time, or maybe a little bit less. But if you were to do every single muscle group to that much volume, it's probably not good. You're gonna rack up too much systemic volume, which is what we would call where just your entire body is going through too much volume, where your recoverability for your entire body will actually go down, which basically takes away all the benefits of trying to focus on certain muscle groups. So don't try to do that. But yeah, we focus on muscle groups by picking a couple and then increasing the volume in those areas, keeping the volume everywhere else moderate but still high, and then we'll probably grow everywhere, but it's specifically those muscle groups. And it's a good idea too to probably increase the frequency as well. So for my arms, for instance, I used to be doing them 2 days a week, and now I'm doing them 3 days a week. Same with my legs. I was doing my legs once a week because I didn't care about them. Now I'm doing them 3 days a week. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's the rundown of all of that. If you have any more questions, just reach out on Instagram or even drop a comment below and I'll answer that. did learn something from this big old talk that we just had, make sure to like the video. I'll see you guys in a second.
Okay guys, I want to show you what I'm cooking up. So I'm making this sesame chicken, like frozen Chinese food, but I also got some fried rice in there. And basically, like, I'm doing this because I'm starting prep super soon. So this is my way of just mentally relaxing a little bit and eating some of the foods that might be harder to track while I'm on prep. That way I kind of just have like a mental break from all this stuff. Honestly, I don't feel like I need it that much, but I'm gonna do it anyway just so I'm extra ready for prep to start soon. But yeah, everyone wants to know what I eat. So, I mean, I'm just having some sesame chicken tonight and some fried rice and maybe some ice cream or something like that. But that's where we're at right now. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video or learned something new, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, we will see you in the next video. Peace out.